Well, so Riccardo Patrese is in second place, behind teammate Nigel Mansell. In third, still Jean Alesi, who I haven't seen in the pits. Michele Alboreto just came into the pits for wets, and I suppose Jean Alesi should come in very, very soon.
Yes, Alesi's got to really make a pit stop. The conditions now, in my opinion, are much too bad to stay out. The amount of time that you will lose by staying out is much, much too great.
Well, there's a Lotus in the pits, I think, John.
Well, here's Alesi. Is he going to come in? Well, little Jean Alesi, never say die, still staying out. You could just see Patrese's car ahead of him. Well, Alesi technically still in second place. So maybe the strategy the team are banking on is that the race may well not go full distance. But on the road, Jean Alesi still is in second place. So we're waiting to see what difference in time between Patrese and Alesi there is. And also we want to look at the lap times. Well, Patrese now has been credited with being in second place. Jean Alesi now some 6 seconds. The computer, we had to wait for it to catch up with all the pit stops, cars coming in and out of the pits. And there we have Riccardo Patrese. Well, you see just how slippery it is. Very, very slick indeed, coming onto the pit straight. Jean Alesi still on his dry tyres, going around the outside of the corner. And very often in the rain, that is the quicker way around. The track is cleaner there. There's not the rubber that you have on the inside of the circuit, on the line around a corner. But very, very difficult conditions in which to drive. The degree of concentration required to do this is just unbelievable.
John, if you look at the times, Jean Alesi is doing 1:33s, and Nigel Mansell is doing 1:33s as well. So for the moment, if the rain stops, I think Alesi might have made the right decision.
Yes, but I think right now there's more chance of the rain stopping than there is of me being struck by lightning. That's getting heavier and heavier. And while this is a gamble on the part of Ferrari and Jean Alesi, there's an awful lot to be lost by staying out in slick tyres, and a lot more to be gained by going in and putting on wet weather tyres.
Nigel Mansell doing a 1:33.6, Jean Alesi a 1:34.2. We've got to wait for Riccardo Patrese to see whether Alesi is in second or still in third, and there is Jean Alesi on the grass. Well, you said it.
Yes, I'm sorry I did say it, because it was inevitable. Conditions really now are very wet indeed, and I would say that really it's in the interest of Ferrari to tell Jean Alesi to come in and make a pit stop. Here we see what's going to happen. Yeah, but look, so simple. Coming out of the very quick corner, back, gets away onto the grass, and well, you don't have to be Brain of Britain to work it out. It's going to happen at some stage, and even a driver of the quality and skill of Jean Alesi could do nothing to stop the car on the grass. And that car probably spun for something like 200 meters.
Mika Häkkinen in the pits for his wet.
See people coming in, and the majority are coming in for wet weather tyres. You have to believe that they know something you don't know, and therefore you should really follow suit. Now, will Alesi come in this time? Surely that little slip off the straight.
No, he's not.
Dear me. I mean, what do you say? What do you say about a guy who just keeps going and going and going? Morbidelli on wet weather tyres, almost losing control.
Jean Alesi doing a 1:46, John, with that little spin included. So that is 12 seconds he lost with 16 laps to go, and we're on lap 54 if we take the overall picture.
Yes, well, that's the part of the circuit we saw Alesi have a spin one lap ago.
I say he was very lucky not to hit anything.
He was indeed. And still pressing on. We mentioned before that this circuit does give a lot of grip even when it is damp. But at the minute the water, yellow flags wave for somebody up in this quick right left.
Well, that's Andrea de Cesaris's car.
That's right, I've stuck off on the gravel trap.
Now that Mika Häkkinen has made his pit stop, Johnny Herbert is in 5th place. Mika Häkkinen is in 6th, 4 seconds behind. Häkkinen, including the stop, doing a 2:04 lap. And Johnny Herbert, I think, and I'm looking to my right, is still on slicks. And we can see that at the lap time, so 1:39, some 5 seconds slower than the top runner. So expect Johnny Herbert to come in fairly soon. But we've got both Lotuses in the top 6. Well, John,
here
it's
we
going
are.
to go now.
Well, I don't know. I've given up on Jean Alesi right now.
Well, so
I mean, the rain is still falling, and it's falling heavily. I don't know what he thinks he's achieving by doing this. Let's look at the lap time as he goes across. Well, it's
just
still
as quick
matching.
as Mansell.
I know. I mean, it's amazing. I mean, this I cannot explain.
We'll call it bravery, maybe.
Yeah, Alesi's been given the sign 4 tyres. And in spite of it, it's a truly courageous effort on the part of Jean Alesi, or anybody else for that matter out there on slicks.
Control.
Yes, the traction control device apparently works via a maze of electronics on the engine itself, and it effectively cuts out some of the cylinders in the engine, which is what makes the engine sound very rough. But having said that, apparently Patrese' engine sounds rough anyway. But it is difficult at times when the traction control device, which the Ferrari has, and certainly the Williams we know has, is being activated, because what it does is in effect cut out about 2 or possibly 4 of those 10 cylinders on the Renault engine.
Nigel Mansell now going 1:34, and Jean Alesi being 2 seconds slower. So I suppose it is time for Alesi to come into the pits. Well, the team is ready for him. Everybody's ready for Jean Alesi, and Nigel Mansell completing his 56th lap of the day.
In the trade, well, thank goodness Jean, oh, he almost lost it coming into the pit lane, the final, and he nearly got it again. There is a puddle coming in there, and it's very easy to come on too quickly to the pit lane. Well, Alesi has made it in finally, and he's made it in safely. There was amazing megaphone exhaust systems on that V12 Ferrari engine.
No, he stole it.
Oh dear, Jean. After all that, after that long looping spin, you kept it going.
And Martin Brundle just passes, so Brundle is now effectively back in 3rd place, not only on the road but also on the computer. Martin Brundle back in 3rd, and Jean Alesi back to 4th. But in these conditions, and with Jean Alesi, I would say anything can happen.
Circuit was very bad indeed. Well, there, we don't know which, we assume that is Jean Alesi.
It is.
Yes, it is Jean Alesi now coming into the pits.
Alesi retiring from the French Grand Prix.
And he's got a little fire on the back. That's an engine blow up for Jean Alesi. He was certainly giving the engine a lot of stick as he came past us here on the previous lap. And that was a small oil fire on the exhaust. So, and it looks like oil in the exhaust. So a very sad end for Jean Alesi. The man never knows when to give up.
Well, I think he's very forced into giving up now, John. Well, that means Mansell